The public is reeling from the shocking rumors surrounding Rick Harrison, a beloved figure from the hit show Pawn Stars. The rumors are nothing short of dramatic. Word has spread that Rick has been sentenced to life in prison. Known for his sharp business acumen and vast knowledge of antique trading, Rick was long regarded as the heart and soul of the famous Las Vegas pawn shop. But what once seemed like a well-established career in the world of rare items and high-stakes negotiations now seems to have taken a dark and unexpected turn. Pawn Stars has been a staple of television, drawing millions of viewers into the fascinating world of antique trading, where rare treasures are exchanged, dramatic deals unfold, and surprises are around every corner. However, instead of tense negotiations, Rick's name is now associated with a much more troubling story. So, what exactly happened? Are these rumors about Rick facing legal trouble true? Let's take a closer look at the facts and set the record straight. Rick Harrison, a name many know from the screen, is more than just a TV personality. He's an American businessman with a colorful and sometimes troubled history. Born on March 22, 1965, in Lexington, North Carolina, Rick's life has been a rollercoaster ride before becoming the famous face behind Pawn Stars. Rick's childhood, however, wasn't as smooth as it may seem. At just 2 years old, his family relocated to San Diego, California, where he spent most of his formative years. But those years weren't easy. At 8, Rick was diagnosed with epilepsy, a condition that forced him to miss school regularly and left him isolated at times. Instead of falling behind, Rick found solace in books. His love for reading helped him develop an encyclopedic knowledge of history, a skill that would serve him well in the future. While his health struggles forced him to drop out of high school in his second year, Rick didn't let this setback define him. He turned his battle with illness into motivation, focusing on educating himself in business and history. This self-driven education set the stage for his future success in the pawn industry. Rick's journey into the pawn business started as a teenager, working alongside his father, Richard Benjamin Harrison, better known as the Old Man. Together, they built a business that would eventually become the iconic gold and silver pawn shop. Just 17 years old, Rick's life took another turn when his girlfriend Kim became pregnant, and the two married. They had 2 sons, Corey and Adam, but after 8 years of marriage, the couple decided to part ways. In 1981, Rick and his family made the move to Las Vegas, Nevada, where his father opened the gold and silver coin shop. By 1989, the shop officially rebranded as the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, the very location that would later become the backdrop of Pawn Stars. The early years were anything but easy. Rick and his father faced endless challenges, from tough customers to risky business deals. But these hardships taught them valuable lessons, honing their skills and fortifying their resolve. By the early 2000s, Rick had built a solid reputation in Las Vegas for his vast expertise in collectibles and historical artifacts. He saw the untapped potential of turning the pawn business into entertainment, and that's when his entrepreneurial vision began to take shape. After years of perseverance, Rick's dream finally came to fruition when he signed a deal with the History Channel in 2009. And Pawn Stars was born. The show offered viewers a never-before-seen look at the day-to-day workings of a pawn shop, complete with exciting deals, rare antiques, and fascinating historical stories. The cast featured Rick, his son Corey, Big Hoss, Harrison, his father, Old Man, Harrison, and their close friend Austin, Chumley, Russell. Together, they navigated the fast-paced world of appraising, buying, and selling valuable items, often negotiating against the clock and with high stakes. When Pawn Stars first aired, it quickly became a cultural phenomenon, launching Rick Harrison from a local pawn shop owner to a household name. His no-nonsense approach, sharp negotiation skills, and wealth of knowledge made him an instant fan favorite. Rick's signature phrase, "The best I can do is," became iconic whenever he delivered his final price on an item, making viewers feel like they were right there in the heart of the action. But Pawn Stars wasn't just about flashy deals. It also had a unique educational twist. Each episode provided fascinating insights into history, as the items brought into the shop told stories of past generations. This blend of entertainment and education helped Pawn Stars appeal to a broad audience, spanning all ages, and ultimately became one of the History Channel's most popular shows. Under Rick's leadership, the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop wasn't just a business. It became a must-visit tourist destination, attracting visitors from around the globe. As the show's popularity skyrocketed, so did the shop's sales, leading to the creation of new business ventures like souvenirs, books, and even a restaurant. But Rick's success didn't stop at Pawn Stars. He soon appeared on numerous TV shows, was interviewed by major magazines, and became a sought-after speaker at business events, where he shared his entrepreneurial journey and business strategies. Rick Harrison's reputation as a sharp businessman was built not just on his ability to close deals but also on his cool-headed leadership. On the show, he often played the role of the calm, rational figure, reining in his son Corey's impulsive decisions and managing Chumley's mischievous antics. From a young boy who had to drop out of school because of epilepsy to a successful businessman and television icon, Rick's story is one of perseverance, self-discipline, and determination. And even as Pawn Stars continues to evolve, there's no denying that Rick remains the show's heart and soul. Rick's bond with his father, Richard "Old Man" Harrison, was the foundation of their success. Their relationship wasn't just that of a father and son. It was a partnership built on years of shared experiences and a common business philosophy rooted in honesty and integrity. When Old Man passed away in 2018, Rick vowed to carry on his father's legacy, continuing to run the shop in line with the values they had shared. Rick's personal life, however, wasn't without its challenges. After his first marriage ended, he remarried Tracy Harrison, and they spent 27 years together before divorcing in 2011. 2 years later, Rick married Deanna Burdett in a ceremony officiated by Counting Cars star Danny Coker, with Chumley serving as the ring bearer. Although Rick has kept his family life mostly private, the rare glimpses he offers through the show reveal a man deeply devoted to his loved ones, always striving to balance his fame with his personal life. Rick didn't stop at growing Pawn Stars. He expanded his business empire, opening Rick's Roland's Smoke Barbecue and Tavern at Pawn Plaza, right next to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. In 2011, he co-authored a book, License to Pawn, Deals, Steals, and My Life at the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, where he shared behind-the-scenes stories about his life and career. Rick's entrepreneurial spirit extended far beyond his pawn shop, always looking for ways to develop his brand and seize new opportunities. His ability to appraise items, whether it was historical documents, classic cars, or rare artifacts, became legendary. Despite his vast knowledge, Rick knows his limits and isn't afraid to consult experts when dealing with items outside his wheelhouse. One of his most notable purchases was a 2001 New England Patriots Super Bowl ring for $2,600, which was later valued much higher. Another memorable acquisition was a collection of Spanish gold coins from a 1715 shipwreck, which highlighted Rick's passion for history and priceless artifacts. However, even with all his success, Rick's life took an unexpected turn in 2023. The reality TV star found himself at the center of a federal investigation, leaving fans shocked and confused. FBI agents, IRS investigators, and representatives from the Department of Cultural Heritage Protection raided Rick's Las Vegas home and the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop in a dramatic operation. Witnesses who were there at the time described a scene out of a crime thriller. Agents detained employees and customers while seizing computers, documents, and several artifacts from the store. Videos of Rick being escorted out of his home by Secret Service agents went viral, setting off a whirlwind of speculation. As the details started to emerge, it became clear that authorities were investigating allegations of a complex tax evasion scheme, money laundering, and the sale of stolen artifacts. The claims stemmed from suspicious transactions flagged by financial institutions and complaints from former business partners. Despite the mounting pressure and public scrutiny, Rick remained calm, continuing to run his business while waiting for the investigation to unfold. In the weeks following the raid, the Pawn Stars production was temporarily suspended by the History Channel, which issued a statement saying it was monitoring the situation. Meanwhile, the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop remained open, though traffic to the location dropped significantly as legal issues clouded Rick's reputation. Rick's representatives were quick to deny any wrongdoing, asserting that the investigation was based on misunderstandings that would soon be cleared up. Rick's lawyer, David Marshall, a high-profile Las Vegas attorney, reassured the public that Rick had always operated his business transparently and lawfully. However, as the investigation progressed, more troubling details emerged. Authorities claimed they had evidence that Rick had engaged in a scheme to deliberately undervalue historical artifacts in order to reduce his tax liability, while secretly selling them at their full market value on the private market. Investigators also alleged that Rick had purchased stolen artifacts, including valuable historical documents and pieces that rightfully belonged to museums and private collections. Court records later revealed that the investigation into Rick Harrison's actions was sparked by a whistleblower, a former employee who decided to come forward with crucial information. This individual claimed to have been directly involved in the acquisition of many valuable items and provided evidence of a private accounting system used to record transactions that Rick reportedly wanted to keep off the books. Rick's arrest came soon after, and although he was released on bail just one day later, the legal storm was far from over. He faced a range of serious charges, including tax evasion, money laundering, dealing in stolen property, and conspiring to illegally purchase historical artifacts. Despite Rick's attorney, David Marshall, maintaining his client's innocence, the pressure from the prosecution mounted as the trial unfolded over nearly a year. As the trial progressed, the evidence against Rick seemed to grow more damning. Initially, he firmly denied the charges, but as former associates began to testify, his situation worsened. The prosecution presented a trove of financial documents, encrypted messages, and testimony from ex-employees who claimed Rick had directed him to alter records to conceal large, unreported transactions. One of the most explosive pieces of evidence was a series of messages between Rick and an unnamed supplier, allegedly discussing how to remove the provenance of an 18th-century document thought to have been stolen from a university archive. In another exchange, Rick was allegedly planning how to bypass reporting requirements for large cash payments, further deepening the case against him. Despite the growing evidence, Rick maintained his innocence. He appeared on several TV shows, particularly on conservative-leaning channels, where he portrayed himself as a victim of a campaign designed to destroy the success of porn stars. Many of Rick's supporters rallied around him, using hashtags like #FreeRick and organizing protests outside the courthouse to express their dissatisfaction with the case. For some, Rick's fall from grace was a devastating shock, as the image of the sharp, straightforward businessman they had come to know on television was now entangled in legal battles. The final verdict left the courtroom in stunned silence. Rick, who had remained calm throughout the trial, turned pale as the judge read out the sentence. His son, Corey, sat in the back with his head in his hands, while Chumley, Rick's longtime friend, quickly exited the courtroom, tears streaming down his face. Legal experts expressed shock at the harshness of the sentence, but the judge emphasized that the punishment wasn't just about financial crimes, it was a reflection of the damage done to cultural and historical heritage. You presented yourself to the American public as a guardian of history, a person who values artifacts and cherishes our common heritage, the judge said. In reality, you participated in an illegal trafficking network that contributed to the systematic looting and destruction of priceless cultural heritage for personal gain. This court cannot turn a blind eye to the gravity of these actions. The judge's words echoed in the courtroom, marking a somber end to the illustrious career of Rick Harrison. Immediately after the verdict, Rick's legal team filed an appeal, arguing that the sentence was excessive for a non-violent crime and violated his civil rights. They also requested that Rick be released on bail while the appeal process continued, but the court denied the request. The moment Rick was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs became a headline image that dominated newspapers and social media. Public opinion quickly divided. Many of Rick's loyal fans voiced skepticism, claiming that he had become a scapegoat for the larger issues within the antiquities business. These fans organized a campaign, Hearts for Harrison, collecting over 100,000 signatures in support of Rick, arguing that a life sentence for a non-violent crime was unjust. We don't deny that Rick may have made mistakes, but this sentence is not justice, it's revenge, said campaign organizer Melissa Jenkins. Rick's son, Corey Harrison, spoke out emotionally in defense of his father. My father may have made mistakes, Corey said, but he did not deserve to die in prison. He deserves a chance to make things right. Meanwhile, the History Channel quickly severed ties with Rick, officially cancelling Pawn Stars and removing all reruns from its schedule. In an official statement, the channel expressed its disappointment with Rick's actions, reaffirming its commitment to preserving and respecting cultural heritage. The fall of Rick Harrison from beloved TV personality to disgraced figure was now complete. Before the scandal, Rick had not only built a popular TV show but also a thriving business empire. His entrepreneurial spirit had extended beyond the pawn shop, with ventures like restaurants and bars in Las Vegas, and plans to expand to other cities. Despite the legal troubles that tarnished his public image, Rick's legacy as a businessman remains significant, even though his reputation may have been irreparably damaged. As the case unfolds, Corey Harrison has stepped up to take over the operation of the gold and silver pawn shop. While the shop's customer base initially dropped after the scandal, it still remains a popular tourist destination in Las Vegas. Corey has worked hard to rebrand the business, focusing on transparency and partnering with museums and educational institutions to promote ethical collecting practices and restore public trust. In an emotional interview 6 months after Rick Harrison's conviction, Corey Harrison opened up about the immense challenges of keeping the family business afloat amidst the scandal. We've implemented rigorous verification processes for every purchase. What happened was wrong, and we are committed to being part of the solution, not the problem, he asserted, showing a determination to rebuild and restore the reputation of the iconic pawn shop. it wasn't just Corey who had to confront the painful reality of Rick's actions. Austin Chumley Russell, who had viewed Rick as a father figure and mentor, shared his own conflicting emotions. "I learned a lot from Rick, sound business principles that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life," Chumley said in a candid podcast interview. "But I also had to accept that there was a side to him that I didn't see, or maybe I didn't want to see." For the Harrison family, the focus now is on supporting Rick through his appeal and working to rebuild both the family's reputation and the future of the famous gold and silver pawn shop. Corey's takeover of the business came as a surprise to many, especially considering his impulsive nature on Pawn Stars. But with his sharp business sense, Corey has proven that he has what it takes to steer the family fortune through this storm. "The messages of support from fans have been a lifeline for my dad," Corey shared in a recent press release. He revealed that Rick reads every letter sent to him and draws strength from the belief that so many people still stand by the Harrison family. During this trying time, the family holds weekly vigils every Sunday in front of the pawn shop, where loyal fans gather to show their unwavering support for Rick. For those who can't make it to Las Vegas, the family encourages them to send letters, cards, or even photos of their favorite Pawn Stars memories. "Those little gestures make a huge difference to a man going through the darkest time of his life," Corey emphasized. Despite everything, Corey remains optimistic about the future of the pawn shop, saying, "This store has been a part of Las Vegas for over 30 years, and I'm determined to make sure it's here for at least another 30. Rick Harrison's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. From a humble pawnbroker to a successful businessman, reality TV star, and now a life sentence inmate, his dramatic rise and fall show just how quickly fortunes can change, especially under the unforgiving spotlight of fame." Cultural commentators have compared Rick's downfall to a Shakespearean tragedy. A man deeply knowledgeable about history who, in the end, turned the very artifacts he once cherished into instruments of his own destruction. His story is now a cautionary tale, shedding light on the temptations of success and the fine line between shrewd business strategy and criminal behavior. This shocking turn of events has not only rocked the reality TV world but has left the Harrison family business in a precarious position without the charismatic leader who once drove it forward. Despite the tumult, Rick Harrison still needs your support. If you were a Pawn Stars fan and appreciated the entertainment Rick provided over the years, consider sending words of encouragement, positive thoughts, or prayers. The Harrison family has set up a special website where fans can leave messages for Rick, which will be forwarded to him in prison. According to the family, hearing messages from fans has been a great source of strength for Rick during this incredibly difficult time. The website also provides an address where supporters can send letters, hoping each message will bring some light into Rick's life. Rick has always appreciated the Pawn Stars audience, and knowing that you are still there for him means more than ever, a statement from the family emphasized. The Rick Harrison saga continues, and its twists and turns have sent shockwaves through the reality TV industry. We'll keep you updated on this unprecedented case, one that not only affected one man, but reshaped a family business and forced the public to reconsider what we think we know about success. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found this content interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest updates. See you in the next video.